Justin, you ready? We'll call this meeting of the Board of Commissioners to order. Please join us for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks everybody for being here today. Today is June 21st, first day of summer, longest day of the year. We're going to hit 95 today, so enjoy it. Minutes of our previous meeting.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the minutes of our June 7th meeting. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Okay, we're going to rearrange our agenda just for one item here. Kelly Van Meter is here for a 144 request.
Well, thank you very much, Dale. So we had a girl, Amber Rigger, that she had hired part-time back in March, and she left us to go to Union County's dispatch as a full-time dispatcher over there. So we needed to replace her pretty quickly because of our manpower. We don't want to get shook up with that. So I hired a Katie Fansler. She started the latter part of last week. She is already into the system over at the auditor's office as well. So it's Katie Fansler that we've hired. We're in the training program right now with her. Any questions?
How many part-time people does that give you?
Well, that gives me three. Well, let's see. We'll have a total of 5. We were down, almost 3, and then I hired 3. I will say there's one person right now out of the 3 that I hired back in the last of February, 1st of March. She's kind of being remediated right now. She's not quite getting it, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with her. Possibly, have to replace her as well. I'm not really sure yet because we're still trying to work with her, just to give her a little chance. But again, I may be back here for another 144 then. But there's 5 part-timers at this time. And then I do have some that are on the outskirts, like as needed. But again, they've got some stuff going on. One of them, she works at Rushville, and they're also trying to hire people over there. So they're trying to take other hours over there. So Diana can't come over here and work too because she's full on over there. But as soon as she can break away, she's going to try to get some hours here too. So I still got some back burner people too that don't get on the schedule right now. It's going well all in all. I mean, each day we try to, I brought Jenny with me today. She's kind of like my sidekick over there. So I thought I'd bring her with me today and give her the travels of my day and what I do and how we do things so that if I had to be gone for a minute, she would be able to pick up the pace a little bit. It's kind of good to have a second person to help on that. But no, other than that, we're good, I think. Any questions? I mean, Dale, did you have any questions per EMS or any other emergency units that you, okay.
I do want, have you figured out some of the trouble with the EMS frequency?
I do not. I spoke to Mobilcom because right at the moment, that was the last person, and he's got us, he wrote it in, he's got us all the way to where we need to be at dispatch. His only thing that he said is that since we've had the wind, the weather, that the EMS and maybe, because Glenwood and Bentonville aren't having that issue now. Right, Jenny? Are they is Bentonville and Glenwood having any issue with the radios right now? Just EMS?
Just EMS.
So, I don't know how that fixed itself out there because he did the same tweaking. But he said that the only thing he has to say about that would be to have EMS check their equipment, the antenna and repeater, and on their end, because he's already been on our end. Other than that, he doesn't have an answer, and neither do I. We keep a portable in dispatch. So that's what we're doing right now with, if we don't hear you or you don't hear us. I know I worked radio 3rd shift this weekend, and I didn't hear the unit mark out either, and I had to ask a couple of times. And so we had that radio and dispatch to back up if we couldn't get out.
I heard when they went to Bentonville the other night, they were an issue up there.
Is that 9,000 block call? What night was that? Just I can't remember.
Sunday, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer. I don't want to give you something that I don't have.
But is it,
Because it's staticky in our dispatch. I
Yeah.
mean, it can be staticky, but then when we reach out to you to answer you, say that we hear you. So we'll reach out to answer you, it's like silent. Like you might be talking to us, but now even the portable on Saturday was silent with me. It didn't even come across the portable. And then when I used the portable came through the system.
but you said that would be a unit deal to look at their radio.
Yes, that's what Mobilecom had
But
said.
isn't the repeater and the tower, or the antennas on the tower, is that your end or their end? Because it's up there at the dog pound.
Right. And he's went up there, but he doesn't see anything wrong with it. Now, I will say though, Duke Energy had a power outage, one day last week. Because me and Scott Jones went up there because EMS and City Fire didn't have anything going on. And that was before Sunday, so I'm not sure if the power outage has changed all the dynamics of that at this point. I may have to reach back out, and see if there's something that has to be done with that. Because it has kind of changed a little bit since that time on Sunday, with that power outage up there. And I don't know what created the power outage. The building right next to our building, they were running generator, because it was on when we went up there. So, I will do some checking though. I'm not gonna leave you with, we don't know, but I don't know, I don't have an answer right
Yeah.
now.
That's fine.
Okay? Thank you for putting me at the
Yeah.
head of the line.
I'll move to approve the 144.
I'll second that.
A motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the 911 department request for 144 for Katie.
Fansler, Fansler.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you guys, have a nice day.
Okay, County Assessor Jeff Coleman is here for a contract renewal.
Afternoon. I have a contract with a company for the large format printer down in the surveyor's office. We use it for reassessment purposes, and I believe the two bills downstairs use it for their offices, and it's been really handy. But our contract is up in November, and I was hoping to get that renewed for another 36 months and have that ready to go before, I did it this early so that I know where we stand for the budget next year. That's why I'd like to get this done. I have the money in the line item to pay for this. And I just need to get it renewed.
Yeah, I looked that over. I remember the last time we did it, and time just flies by, doesn't it?
It does, yep.
Well, that's a pretty handy machine down there. I know the surveyor's office uses it, and periodically other people need it for other purposes.
It also scans, I think, some large blueprints or some of the other older documents. I'm not quite sure what it's been, how many different uses it has.
Does get a fair bit of use for that.
Yeah, that's good. So it is used for blueprints.
People regularly have copies in the office to make copies for us for construction plans.
Which in turn helps what we do, so, yeah.
All right.
Any questions for Jeff?
I don't-
I don't. Guess we can make a motion to approve your contract renewal for the large format printer in the assessor's department.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the contract for the large format printer. And Jeff, I didn't copy that on the paper. I looked at it online, the way you sent it to us. What is the name of the company? Or do you have it there, James?
They do business as Eastern Engineering Supply.
Okay. Okay, this contract is with Eastern Engineering Supply from Muncie. And is for $173 per month. Any further questions? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Anything else, Jeff?
That's it.
Okay. Thanks for coming in.
All right, I appreciate your time.
Health Department, Matt Shirk is here today.
I forwarded a copy of an intent. The State Department of Health has sent out a letter stating that they want to extend the COVID testing program. So they want to extend it through December. It's $50,000. I want to see if I could get approval to go ahead and sign the letter of intent that we would be interested or want to continue with the health department doing the testing. The requirements just say offer the testing as needed by the community, which we are currently offering it all the time now at the health department, so you can come down and get the testing now. So basically, we just want to keep the program going as is through December. Kelly, that's doing the testing now, is supposed to transition into a different position at the health department from the other grant, but we think we can do the testing with the current staff we have, with some part-time nurses and also other nurses will fill in to do it. So we don't want to change anything up. We just want to apply for the additional funding.
Okay, this is just merely an extension of the testing program.
Mm-hmm.
And this is for 6 months, right?
Yes.
I'll move to approve the agreement to extend the testing for another 6 months.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to give Matt the go-ahead to apply for the additional funding for COVID testing to take us through to the end of this year. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
All right, that was it from me. If there's any other questions?
You got is there any COVID news of note to tell?
I mean, we still are seeing COVID positives, so it's just kind of going to linger there that we keep seeing positives, so we continue to tell people, to come to the health department. And we also have take-home kits, so anybody can come to the health department, pick up a kit to have at home. So that way, if you feel ill or feel sick and you're not sure, you have a test right there at home, you can pop it in and take it. So we want people to take the precautions that if you feel sick or you think you're sick, you need to go ahead and test, isolate, try not to spread it any more than we can. So we're going to have to learn to make sure and try not to spread it, because it's going to continue to linger. So.
And you are still providing booster shots?
Yes. We're doing appointments or walk-ins Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you can come down there to the health department and get your booster.
Okay.
And we're also going to be providing, the state opened up for 6 months and up, so we will be doing all ages.
I think that started today, right?
I'd have to check and see, but I know we had to order our infant vaccine. So.
Okay. Well, how long will it be before the regular school vaccinations start?
We've already started doing school vaccinations, and we're offering extended hours even for those by appointment. So we've sent out letters, and the schools sent out letters asking parents to get their kids down and get the vaccine started. So we've already started our school program to try to not get into school and then everybody coming in at one time. So to come down now, there's no wait. You can walk right through, get your shots. If you wait till school starts, sometimes it gets pretty hairy and there's a long wait. So
How does
give
that
us a
work?
call.
Do you all send letters out to parents notifying them of their child's needs?
The state this year, using the CHIRP system, CHIRP is the program that they use to keep track of all the kids' immunizations. So the state is actually sending letters out this year. And then the school sends letters home with the kids as well. So we don't actually have a list of who needs shots. We can get on Chirp and see who needs them, but it's not actually, doesn't correspond with the school's list. So it's not, we have been sending out letters ourselves as well. But so with the problem with the Chirp is a lot of the letters come back for change of address and stuff like that. So it's hard to track exactly with the school who we have, but we're doing our best to contact everybody ahead of time.
All right. Yeah,
Thank you.
anything else?
Nope, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, Area Plan Commission Director, Bill McDaniel is here to deliver the proposed solar energy ordinance.
All right, now on July 9th, June 9th, ahead of myself, the Area Plan Commission, 8 members were present, and it was voted unanimously to approve as it's recommended to be the solar energy ordinance. And it's quite surprisingly there wasn't very many people with this. It's one of those things where I think it's the anticipate the worst and plan, hope for the best. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. And so I think there's 3 people speaking. 2 of them were with the that's from people from Fayette County. 2 members with the Farm Bureau that for Enlightenment. We had 1 community member spoke during this whole period of time. Is that I only had 2 people, residents of Fayette County, have actually asked for copies of the ordinance. Nobody at all asked me for any of the documents that I used and that I gathered. And as you can see with the emails and that we posted, that I gathered an awful lot of stuff, and it's to make me feel comfortable. So I'm pretty comfortable with the primary concerns.
So, I have not, when will we see this ordinance, Bill?
Oh, okay,
Attached to an email
I
last week.
I haven't seen it.
No, I got it.
I must have missed it.
would you like mine?
You seen it?
Would you like mine?
I'll go back to my email and
I mean, I printed.
Yeah, it really hasn't changed from any of the conversations early on that you and I have had about it. Yeah, so when you've looked at it previously, we really haven't had any substantive changes. And I mean, there hasn't really been any real changes over the past 6 months. There's a little bit here and there, but nothing significant. Only things to make it, some things to make it a little stronger.
okay. I did see the original draft, but in all the email traffic, I must have missed your final version, so I'll go back and look at that.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, and we do have a Stephanie. Okay, you're okay. All right.
okay, let's have the county attorney give us guidance on where to go from here on this.
Well, I'm going to wear a couple hats. My recommendation would be that we take this under advisement, take a look at it, and be ready to move on it next meeting. The reason I say that is City Council is doing the same tonight, and I don't want to get into a situation where we approve it and they tweak something that may not mean much, but it would change the ordinance for the city and the county. So it makes sense to at least see their views on it as well, and then be able to decide if we're going to be able to get to an agreement on the same kind of ordinance for both county and city. Which on this, I don't think there's reason not to. So I'd hate for some language to be changed that you might agree with and have a different ordinance.
Okay, so they are going to do that,
This evening.
They're discussing it this evening, correct?
okay.
So our decision is to table this matter until council has had advisement and decides on what they're doing this evening?
I'd really like to put this to bed.
Yeah, I know you put a lot of work in on this.
It's a lot of time.
So as Dale here, you're on the APC, how many hours have you got in this?
He's got a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Because as I asked with the Area Plan Commission, is nothing else for me right now until I get, because this has really set me back on the time and working with this, with the, on trying to work things out with the permit, with the permit program. So because I really just need to dedicate significant chunks of the day to working on those different parts of it. I think the myth of multitasking is a myth. Because if I can't dedicate, 1, 2, maybe 3 hours at one time, without interruptions, I mean, I just can't split my focus. And with this out of the way, I'll be able to focus.
There was a motion, yes, to table this until after this evening.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Tracy, second by Dale to table and take under advisement the proposed solar energy ordinance. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
Great, thank you.
So we'll take this up after the city
Yeah.
makes any changes they might make.
Yep.
Okay.
Okey dokey. See you
All right.
later.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, thank you.
IT Department, Michael King. Here, Michael, you got anything for us?
Couple things. I put laptop quotes in your box. I'm gonna get 6 of these Acer Nitro 5 laptops. Amazon had them for $758.99 each, as I checked them this morning. That vendor had, I think it said 13 of them as of this morning, so if I can jump on those today, I might be able to get those. I think the next vendor up had them for $775, so I'd like to get approval up to $775 just in case by the time I get to clicking buy now, somebody's already wiped this person out. But I have it in my budget, so I'd like to get 6 of those. The next couple pages just shows some other laptops that are fairly comparable and what the prices were for those. So they're more expensive than what the Nitro was. So that's kind of where we're at. These are for the Sheriff's Department and for a couple other places here in the courthouse. So
How long do these usually last, these laptops?
depends on the use. Spillman actually has it on their sheet that they're recommending laptops be replaced every 3 years. I've got people either using 5. The laptops these were replacing at the Sheriff's Department have been used the entire time I've been here, and they've been for 8 years, and I think they were used while Ben was here, and that was another 3. So those have been used for about 10 years. So it all depends upon how good your person is to a laptop, what they're being used for, like what kind of software they're being used for. Now these, they've got gaming graphics cards in them, 10th generation i5 processors. So we don't need the graphics card. I just chose this one because with the graphics card and the processor that's in there, it's kind of overkill for what we generally need in an office application, but it's got a really good price. So between the graphics card that's in there and the processor, we should be able to be well above what we generally need in an office application right now, which means in 2 or 3 years, as the requirements for software go up, we should still be within the range of the new software that comes in. We should probably still be covered for the software requirements. So as long as somebody's good to it, they're not dropping it, they're not, being hard on the laptop, other than maybe replacing a battery or that kind of thing, they can last a while. So it all depends upon how hard somebody is on it and, like I said, what the requirements are for the software. You know, if somebody gets in a car accident in one of the sheriff's department vehicles and it destroys the laptop, you know, that's obviously something that there's no predicting. And there's no real, you know, covering that. We can't anticipate what kind of forces are going to be thrown through that. But I've seen somebody drop, I've actually got a laptop that's the same model style of this, and I've had it for over 6 years myself, and it still works. I just replaced it because the keyboard started to wear out. And they had one on good price that was, you know, not a bad price for a larger screen. But I typed quite a bit when I was wearing the keyboard out. So.
And storage space for newer software keeps getting larger and larger files as we go along.
That's true. These ones have the 256 gig hard drive in them, but I can put larger storage in it if we need larger storage. They actually have space for a NVMe and 2 solid state drives in there. So I actually have one of these that I got for myself for the IT use last about 6 months ago or 8 months ago. And I threw a 1 terabyte hard drive in there for my storage. So I've got the operating system drive and a storage drive. So it's easy to throw extra storage in there. It costs us about $50. So should we need extra storage, it's easy to throw it in there.
I'll move to approve 775 for 6 of the Nitro laptops.
I'll second that.
And a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to allow the IT department to purchase up to 6 new laptops, up to $775 each. Any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane.
Now, we've been using the Zimbra through Reliable Networks for years for our email. I was informed about 2 weeks ago that they will no longer be doing Zimbra because of we're the last customer they have on Zimbra, and their licensing will no longer be supported. We have a 3-year contract through them for hosting, but they do support Office 365, and we can go over to Office 365. They have another company that they work with for Zimbra that we could do the support through. And I've been looking at the cost versus pro versus con to go over to having them host for us for Zimbra through Reliable, and then using Zimbra through this other company. But the cost is pretty close to the same with going through Office 365 through Reliable. I've got to get the paperwork and everything and make sure the final information is right. But this is mostly just letting you guys know that we're probably going to be switching over to Office 365 for our county email for Outlook. The main reason being is that between the two, it's a comparable price. If not, we might actually be saving some. But the cybersecurity side of it, it gives us more advantages for spam protection, virus protection, and control versus the Zimbra stuff. As much as everybody's used to Zimbra and we've been using it for so long, there's just, in the landscape we're finding ourselves in, it's harder and harder to protect against those threats, and with the cost being slightly so close together, I got to keep crunching some numbers. Chances are next meeting I'll be bringing a contract to you for the switch over and everything. So I just wanted you guys to be aware. And then the final thing, if I would like you guys to just think about this over the next couple of weeks before the next meeting and make a decision then. With the cost of gas prices being what they are, right now if I'm always on call, but if I'm in Rushville, like a couple weeks ago, I had to come back to Connersville. I don't have anything extra that I get for when I have to come back. I would like to, if you guys to think about if I can get mileage, at least for my extra trips, when I have to come back to Connersville from Rushville after hours. Obviously, I don't expect to be paid to come to work every morning, but if I have to come back at night or on a Saturday to work on something, like when the storm came through and knocked the water plant out, at least if I could get mileage for those trips. I do have a budget for travel and training, but it's just, the gas is gonna kill me if I have to make a whole bunch of these extra trips at $6 a gallon. So,
Just ballpark, how many times do you come back a month? Just ballpark.
the emergency trips, it's maybe, it could be twice a month. You know, I've been, instead of coming in, I used to come in every Saturday or every other Saturday to get done with get the stuff I would be getting behind on. Instead, I've been doing that remotely or taking it home with me. So those I have trips I've cut out because of the gas prices. But those trips that, you know, power goes out and you have to come back, or power goes out and you have to come back to work on the jail in the middle of the night, you know, those are the ones that, you know, it wasn't so bad when gas was $3 a gallon, but with it going up to $5 and $6 a gallon, it's just, you know. So I'm not expecting to make the decision right now. It's something you guys could think about and consider for next meeting. So anything else for me? Okay. Well,
No.
this laptop's taken care of, and we'll go from there.
Well, thank you much.
Thank you.
Michael. Okay, Highway Department, Jay Havlin. Jay, do you have anything to report today?
Oh, I can tell you what's going on. Good afternoon. We took the distributor out and tried it yesterday. Dale was out there, and it didn't look very good, did it, Dale? But we're still waiting on Southeastern to call us back. We called up there, and the gentleman that runs the department that takes care of that was gone. She didn't know if he'd be back today or not, but he'll get back with us as soon as he gets back in. We'll have them come down and see what they can find on it. Check it again.
Yeah, this is one of those things that certainly, to the untrained eye, they wouldn't be able to tell it, but when you guys explained stuff to me, and I hung on the side of the truck while we went down the road spraying that stuff, I could see.
See exactly what it's doing, yeah.
Yeah, I could see what you was talking about. This thing
It's
seems to be all computer related, programming and stuff.
Send our IT guy out there.
He'd be better at it than me, that's for sure.
I'll pay him for his mileage.
They, we looked at it again today. Me and Morris were going through some books and checking some stuff, and there's some things we want to ask him when he comes down. There might be a problem with it, I don't know. So with an old truck like that's an 85, to wire, they had wiring problems up there when we had it up there with them, and it took us 3 tries to get it back down here, because every time we'd go get it, it wouldn't run. Something was shorted out, and they had to fix it. So we'll just have to wait and see. It's something, it's got to be something simple that's doing it, but who knows?
Yeah.
We've got the cans in Little Bear. We haven't got the road done yet, but it'll be done in the next couple of days because they're going to clean the creek out away from it. We went and talked to the landowner to get the debris out of it so it don't mess the next can up, because there's a couple tank cars right behind that one, so we don't want to stop them up.
Right.
And then we're going to put some concrete blocks in along the west side to keep the water flowing to the can so it don't overrun the bank there like it's been doing. We'll set them in. We got them in IMI, so we'll be good to go there. And then we'll get the road ready for paving. We're going to start paving and start patching the cans we've had put in some spots, and then we'll hit that spot, and we got some other spots we want to hit, and then we'll start paving roads. Well, we're waiting to see what we're going to find out on the strip.
Yeah. Now, the cans that we just put in should be adequate according to the surveyor.
Yes, sir. Should be, unless we get a 5-inch rain in an hour.
We'll find out.
Well, your calculations were figured on 4 inches
4
per
inches per
hour.
hour, yeah.
I think that's what everybody calculates. Well, it has to be better, more adequate than what was in there, for sure.
I would think so, but it seems like when we get it all at once, and it don't cut you any slack when it's coming down.
Yeah.
But we gotta go up, and I was telling Bill that was up there above Shelton Flat, they're saying the creek is stopped up away from the stands, and it's coming out into the field. So I haven't seen any evidence of it, but I haven't walked back there and tried to check it. I don't know who owns that land up there, but I'd have to get with the property owner before I go back there and look.
Where's that at?
Up above Shelton Flat, where the other two cans are at.
Okay. It used to be McDaniels that owned that
Yeah, I don't know who
area
owns it
that drained,
now.
but I don't know who owns it now.
But we'll find out, and we'll check that out and see what that is. And we've got a lot of cans to put in. We're gonna, when we start paving, we're gonna pave with a short crew, so we can keep putting cans in as we're doing it, and see how that works. I had 3 out there today, and it didn't work real well. Everybody wanted something all at the same time. When you only got one guy running parts to them, makes it kind of hard to do.
Yeah. How many work days would you estimate we've lost this year because of the storms and flooding?
Well, like this last time, it took us 3 days to get everything caught back up. And it's about every time, it takes at least 3 to 4 days, a good week to get it caught back up, working 4 days a week. And then you'll find stuff, like this last one, we were finding trees on the last day that we didn't know was down. Nobody called them in. And you just have to go out and get them is all you can do. And that messes everything up. You gotta break crews off to go do that. But we do it and go on. That's all we can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Yep. Hopefully it'll let up on us.
Well, we've had, 8 days now with no rain, so that's first for this year.
Supposed to tomorrow.
And that's all I have for right now.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jay. Or anybody have anything else for Jay?
Have you talked to the guy on 350 East, Freeman? About his can, he told me it was washing out into the road at the can at his driveway or something. He said he called in there one day last week.
I think I sent somebody out there to check it out, and I don't remember what they come back and told me. I don't think they've ever told me what they found out there. But I'll get out there tomorrow and check it again. I got the note on my desk yet.
Yeah, he called me and said that somebody was supposed to talk to him and nobody had got a hold of him yet.
We usually go check it out good before we go talk to him.
Yeah.
Now we can see what it's doing.
Right.
Because I had a call from one guy out there on that's Springersville Road. And he said it was washing out the road by his house. And later on, he said it's the tree line behind the house in the creek that's what's causing all the problem. That's not our responsibility. I mean, we can't go back in everybody's property and clean creeks out.
You got an idea when you're gonna run the gravel roads with the grader?
As soon as we can break people free again, because I've had I think they spread some gravel on your road yesterday, didn't they?
I just seen we're making one load.
Yeah, I think they took what we had left from our drive with this chip sealer out there. They put it down that gravel road, I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah, there's something.
he'll be out there.
But it's grass is coming up.
Yeah. Well, I got a mower man headed that way too.
Well, I mean, in the road.
Yeah, I know. I told him we need to take the sprayer and put a spray bar across the back of the truck and spray it and kill it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do with it. You don't have enough traffic to keep it beat down there. But that's a good thing. You ain't got to contend with all that traffic.
Yeah, because they can't drive it now. It's washboarded.
Yeah.
You gotta hang on. That's all I got.
Okay.
Thanks, Jay. County Surveyor Bill Mackey, do you have anything for us today? Okay. County Attorney, do you have anything for us?
Nothing today.
Does anyone have any mail they want to share? All right, under old business, Bruce Spires is here from Butler, Fairmont, and Seaford. Bruce, you're the project manager on our community crossings projects.
Yes, excuse me, yes, I am. I took over for Mike.
Okay, you want to, we have your written recommendation here. Would you mind explaining that?
Sure. So I reviewed all the bids. The low bid by Milestone Contractors was found to be the lowest responsive and responsible bidder with the actual low price of $1,550,103.50. The bids came in higher than the original estimate, because the original estimate was done in December of last year.
I think so.
Yeah. So that was before everything got crazy and oil prices went all crazy on it. So, just for reference, so you know, so the HMA intermediate came in at $89.50, and the HMA surface came in at $89.50. Generally, we would see those prices around $70. So you're looking at a $20 increase per ton. Now, we've seen them vary where actually Clinton County, their bids came in and their surface was 105. Jasper County's numbers were right about the same than what you received in your bid. I don't anticipate any lower numbers at this time. I've talked to Jeremy Books, who's the director of our construction inspection unit, and we looked at the bid. There is an item in here for HMA intermediate, and it's for an inch. So generally, an inch overlay. Generally, that's used so when you have rutting, if you've got ruts in the roads, they'll use that as sort of a skim coat to go over, and then that'll fill in those ruts. The way Mike estimated it, and we did it in the application, was actually a whole inch over the rut. Mike had a really good habit of finding a bid item somewhere where he could, quote, pack money into, so that when the bid ever came in, we always had something there that was sort of a little bit of a bank that we could use for any other bid item. And I believe that's what he did after talking with Jerry. So we think if we only use 65% of that total unit amount, we would probably save the county about $200,000. I'm not sure exactly where you're at money-wise and what you would be able to spend and commit for this project. So I guess it would be something that you would need to let us know what's the magic number, and then we'll have to figure out how to get down to it and work with the contractor to do that. I will tell you, oil prices keep going up, and I've already had a call from Milestone wanting to know what was going on with the bid, and I said we were going to discuss it today. They're trying to lock in prices for the new round of purchasing for asphalt material.
Okay, if I remember right, the original estimate for our part of the project was around $330,000 would be the local contribution to this project, if I remember right.
150,000 got put in twice. I think it was 1.3 it was like 1.227, I think, was the total application cost. And then, of course, you take 25% of that.
Okay. Now, normally, there's always items in the specs that we can adjust to,
Right.
shave some costs out here and there. So Michael was good at that.
Yes.
He was really good at
I
that.
had to channel, when I started looking at this, I actually had to channel Mike thinking, okay, where do you hide the money at?
Yeah.
And then that's what we figured was with the you have 2 inches of surface. If you wanted to go down to 1.5 inch surface over the wedge level, that's a discussion we can have. We can give you a cost on that and what you're gonna save. But Jeremy and the guys that work for him, and I think you've probably met some of our construction inspectors in the past maybe that were working, but they're pretty good at sitting with the contractor and saying, hey, this is what we gotta get to, and they don't get to it. So if we have to, again, say we're only gonna commit so much to wedge and leveling, we can do that. I hate to see you, 2 inches of surface is really something we really should have. 1.5 inches is not gonna probably last as long as you're gonna want it to.
No, I would rather have be out the money and have a good road rather than
Yes.
keeping it up.
Yes.
But there's, didn't we include 6 inches of stone on?
No, there's no stone on here.
Okay.
There never was any stone on the estimates that I ever saw.
Uh,
I think sometimes you've had stone and we've taken it out, or
Right.
we were able to put it back in, but there is no stone in there. And the other thing I noticed on here, so your first 2 line items are for mobilization and demobilization is basically the cost to bring their equipment out, take their equipment back, and the trucking, and maintaining traffic, so any type of signage or paying for someone to direct traffic, a flagger, would be in that cost. So what Milestone figured was $4,300 for the mob and demo and $61.80 for maintaining traffic. Now, Clinton County actually had a mob and demo, they had 3 roads. One of their roads, it was $60,000. And that was probably because the bids were open about a month and a half ago, and things all of a sudden just went nuts. And so all the contractors were packing as much as they could to cover themselves to see what happens. I think everybody's got a better handle on what's happening right now, even though we don't like what's happening right now. And I think maybe that's why that number came down quite a bit.
Okay. Well, how long, we can certainly approve Milestone's bid today. Do you have any idea how long, what their timetable is this year?
No, I don't offhand.
Okay.
But I'm sure that they could get started. They're a pretty large company.
Yeah.
So I'm sure once we get all the contracts signed and the paperwork all in and do a pre-construction meeting, I would think within the next 6 weeks, hopefully we could have that started.
Okay. Bill, have you heard anything from any of these people on this matter? No. Okay. Well, we'll certainly need to shave probably about between $200,000 to $250,000 out of the final
Yeah.
tab on this.
Yeah, and I think Mike took care of us on that with the wedge and level.
Okay. All right, so basically all you need us to do today is approve the contract with Milestone.
Yes. And then I'll get some signatures and I'll head back, get back in the office tomorrow. I'll send these contracts to Milestone for them to execute. and then they can bring them to a pre-construction meeting.
Okay,
So I would need your signature and Jake's signature on the contract, and then just yours for the notice of award.
okay, do you have it there, or Jane, do you have a copy of it? Okay, did you bring it with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I need you there, and all the way in the back page, Jane. And if you see these before, so you know what to do. Thank you.
Okay. We need to approve that today so they can lock their prices in.
1.5.
Yeah, that's what it, that was, yeah, their original bid. But like you said, once we shave this and that out of it,
And we make the motion for this dollar amount here, and then they shave off of that.
yeah.
Yeah, I would need you to make a motion for the low bid at that 1.550, whatever, yeah.
I'll move to approve the 1550, 103.50 with Milestone Contractors for the project award.
And I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to approve the contract with Milestone Contractors for the 2022 Community Crossings projects, namely paving of County Roads 350 South and 650 South. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Now,
Thank you.
you will need a copy.
Yes, of this, and then there's 3 of these. Sign top.
Okay.
So that notice of award goes with the contracts to the contractor, and it spells out the documents that we want back with the contract. The performance bonds, insurance, and those kind of items that he has to send back along with the contract. And then once the contractor signs that, then we get an original executed agreement back to the county.
Okay, when do you expect we'll hear back from you on this?
In the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, I'll meet with Jeremy in the office and schedule a reconstruction meeting with Milestone.
Okay,
Get them in as soon as possible.
all right. That's usually where we decide what to, how to adjust the project.
Right, right. Yeah, now, we've had a lot of experience. You're certainly not the only county that has those issues. Clinton County, we were able to shave like $300,000 off their bid by changing a few things up and still need a good road. So, yeah, I've got a lot of confidence that we're gonna be able to get you to almost, maybe not to the point where you really want to be, but at least try to get you as close as we can.
Okay. All right, well, all these documents are signed. Jane, do you need copies of them before he takes off?
I wouldn't have to have. Because I can get that, I can wait for fully executed
Yeah, we'll
copies
send you back
after,
a fully
yeah,
executed contract.
after it's all done.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Well, that'll get you on your way today.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Bruce, for coming in.
Not a problem.
Okay, other old business. Remember our last meeting, we talked about a library board appointment? that appointment expires at the end of this month. We have a member there, his term is expiring, and he's willing to stay. We're willing to appoint him.
Who is he?
That was Vane Lashua.
I'll move to accept Vane back on the board.
I'll accept that. Or I'll second.
Okay, was that a second?
That was a second.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy,
Yes,
to reappoint Vane Lashua to the library board, term beginning June 30. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. And also under old business, remember when we was talking the other day about these, we had a quote from North Mechanical that was getting close to expiration, and actually it did expire 4 days ago. And that was to replace, says here, 4 VAV controllers. And I don't know what a VAV controller is. So, do you want to try approving this quote to see if they'll still honor it? And if not, I'll have them re-quote it. With what?
I'll move to see if they'll honor this quote.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay. The motion by Dale, second by Tracy to accept a quote from North Mechanical to replace 4 VAV controllers. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. I hope they'll still honor that.
And that was at the jail, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Now, we also talked about the air handlers at the jail. I did get a hold of Kevin Whitesell last Thursday, Friday, and he told me that that quote would have to be completely recalculated. It was too old, and he said that their suppliers change their price list on a monthly basis. So they can't give any quotes right now that are good for any more than like 30 days. So I told him to go ahead and have their people to rewrite that quote and get it back to us as soon as possible. He said he would do that, so I don't know how long that will take. But we can't let, if we get another one, we shouldn't let it lay around long. So that's where we stand on that.
And those would come out of the ARP money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the question. We need to make sure when they do that, that they include that they are compliant with that.
Yeah.
ARPA. Yes, it's important. With what their expectations are for that.
Yeah, that's really the only way we've found a way to afford to do that project. So. Okay. Is there any more old business you want to take care of? All right, we'll go on to new business. We have a contract proposal for services from Klein Peter and Associates related to ARPA reporting and compliance. Jane, do you want to speak to that?
They have actually already done some work for us, and they handled all of our Okra grants for the last couple of years. They do a great job. It's a really good company. So I recommend that you guys sign the contract and allow them to help us with the ARPA reporting to make sure we stay in compliance with the requirements.
I'll move to accept the Klein Peter contract for services related to ARP and reporting and compliance.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve the Klein Peter contract. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. And is Derek still here? Okay. Mr. Derek Towle is here to explain some bridge signage we have coming down the road, so.
Yeah. This is Derek Towle with USI Consultants, and we currently do the bridge inspections for your county. To give you an update that the county is going to be seeing some new signs being posted along some bridges. On April 29th of 2022, NDOT released the Bridge Inspection Memorandum 22-03, which states effective immediately all bridges that are capable of load rating for emergency vehicles, an EV2 and EV3, loads must be posted with specific EV load limits. And these load ratings are based upon, a couple of years ago, the federal government said that bridges needed to be load rated to see what size or what types of vehicles they could safely cross the bridges. And at that time, we instructed counties that they could put up just basic load, how many tons that vehicle could have. Well, now the NDOT and Federal Highway said yes, it was fine. Well, now Federal Highway has changed their tune and they want the actual EV signs posted. So we have sent out a memo of you have 13 bridges that are going to be affected by these. Each month there should be some information provided back to the Federal Highway or the NDOT, the bridge inspection people. And so far everything's being complied with, and we've got the signs ordered, I believe, with what Bill has said. So we're in the process of getting those taken care of, but you will be seeing those. Those have to be completed by April or August 31st of this year. So this program will have either, it's a federal mandated program that you're going to bear the cost of these signs, and they're going to be pretty good size signs that have to be posted. So, and this is mainly to show which kind of emergency vehicle can and cannot, should or should not cross a certain bridge within the county. So just wanted to make sure you guys were all aware of that, and your community is aware that that federal mandate is out there now, and that you guys are complying with that, and we're helping you with that. So, any questions?
Do you have a map showing where these bridges are? So
Yeah, I will have a map for Bill. I will get that to him so that he can know properly which bridges they are and where they're at in the county, and then we will get those to the fire department so that they know which ones to be able to travel across.
So, how big do these signs have to be?
So, depending on the speed of the roadway, anywhere from 30 by 30 to 48 by 48, depending upon the speed of the roadway. So these are pretty good sized signs that have to be posted. So.
And their primary purpose is for emergency vehicle traffic. To warn an emergency vehicle, be it an ambulance or a fire truck or whatever, as they approach this bridge, they're supposed to tell them whether they should cross it or not.
That is correct, and it has to be posted at the not only right in front of the bridge, but also at the closest intersection, so that they have an opportunity to turn around prior to getting to that position. So that's why Dale's comment with the maps would be better, so they know which ones they are. That would also become a priority for the county to look to get those bridges replaced or repaired or rehabbed to the point where they will no longer have to have a posting on those bridges, and that way the emergency vehicles can travel upon all of them. But right now there's only 13 of them that are affected of your bridges, but those 13 could be important to get crossed at some point. So that would be a recommendation we need to get those looked at to be repaired.
Do we have any county bridges that you're afraid to cross now? I didn't think so. Well,
all wheels ain't on the bridge at the same time.
Okay, and that makes a difference. Well, we're probably going to get criticized when these signs show up.
Probably, but you're going to see them throughout the state of Indiana, so it's not going to be just your community, it's going to be throughout the state. So as people travel about around the state of Indiana, they will be seeing these types of signs, because this is a federal mandate. It's not NDOT's mandate, it's not your county mandate, it is a federal mandate that all bridges have to be posted with these limits if they have bridges that meet the guidelines. So,
And then that also will help us to receive grant money too, right, based on us complying.
right, yeah, I mean, it affects the federal money that comes to the state of Indiana. That's why they're pushing the counties to make sure these are all posted, because it will affect how much money they get from the federal government for bridge inspection programs and other funding that NDOT would want to have or needs to have. So,
I have a question. You say the sign's gotta be at the intersection too? Same kind of signs down at the bridge?
they need to be posted not only at the bridge, but also at the nearest intersection to the bridge, so the emergency vehicle can turn around prior to getting to the bridge itself.
So
That's what I mean,
four
it's gonna
signs
be-
per bridge.
State, that's gonna be a nightmare the way they pull signs up around this county.
So there'll be 4 signs per bridge.
Yeah, 4 signs per bridge, and there's on the manual and uniform traffic control devices, it tells you where those signs need to be placed within that manual, and that's what they should be positioned as. So I can get you a copy of that manual where they're at too, so you guys know, your sign guys will know where to place them. So
There's some roads where the next closest intersection would be up to 3 miles away.
yep, and there's a sign that goes with that sign that says that the bridge is 3 miles away, or whatever that, wherever, however long that bridge is, and it has to be posted at that intersection as how long that is before that bridge comes up. So,
Well, okay. Well, when we're told how silly we are for doing this, we'll just pass your name along and say.
and then I will tell them that the federal government, your elected officials out in Washington DC have mandated this program to alert people on their bridges, so
Yeah.
that's where it comes from. So, this is not an NDOT, nor is it a Fayette County. We have to be compliant, but it is a federal mandate to have the bridges posted, and you have 13 of them that have to be posted.
When do we have to have them posted by?
All this needs to be done by August 31st of 2022, so we have just a few months left.
So we need to get our signs ordered.
Yes, they need to be ordered,
Yeah.
as soon as possible, and then you can get those put up, so.
Now this, I would think this might apply to some farm, like the weight,
There
that
are-
also?
Yes, there are also other bridges that have to be posted because of other things. They may be able to sustain the emergency vehicles, but there's also signs for military vehicles, for farm vehicles, for construction or commercial vehicles, just a normal vehicle traveling across the bridge. If there's a load limit on that bridge, you have to have a sign saying what that load limit is that bridge can handle. And that should be on your list of priorities of changing those bridges or rehabbing those so that they get out of your system, so you can eliminate as many of those types of bridges as possible. But that, I know that's going to take a lot of money, and that's something that Fayette County doesn't have millions and millions and millions of dollars to replace bridges. So we're going to do those as time commits and as money and funding permits. We can work with them to get that. So I think every engineering firm understands it, knows it, and we're all going to work with the counties to try to help them get their bridges replaced as money comes available.
Okay, now back to the signs here. Do we have to buy these signs, or can we make our own?
They have a certain reflectability and certain size and all that. As long as you can, if you've made the other signs and you can make them to meet the guidelines, you can make those signs. It may be cheaper in the long run to buy them, but it's up to you to be able to do that. If you have the access and the resources to do it, you can make them as long as you meet the guidelines, the requirements of the sign to be a certain size, reflectability, all of those types of things, then they can be done.
Okay, are you coordinating with Bill Mackey and Jay Havlin on this?
We will be.
Got the signs ordered.
You've got them ordered.
What Bill told, Danny told me, he's supposed to fax it up to Bill, and he hadn't done it yet.
Okay, well, Bill, the bridges are your forte. The intersections would be yours, I guess, Jay.
So there you go, some new information. So
Yeah.
But it's been in the works for a little bit now, but I'm just now bringing it to the commissioners to let you know and your community know what's happening, so.
Well, thank you, Derek, for the.
Here for good news only. I mean, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anything else under new business you want to bring up?
Yeah, I think we need to talk about the job opening possibly in the EMA, where Adrian has stated that he was looking at retiring at the end of the year, that we should get our job description up to date and also start accepting applications possibly for his position.
Yep, I'll second that.
Okay, so your motion is to,
Update the job description and also accepting applications for the EMA directors.
update the job description. We had talked about that. Okay, we have a motion by Dale, second by Tracy, to update the job description for EMA director and to accept applicants for that position. Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
3 ayes, Jane. Okay. Patron concerns. Lori Christie is here with us today. Lori, do you have anything?
No, sir, it's good to see you.
Now I know where the Hershey bar came from.
Yeah, thank you.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah,
He's
no.
had them for 2 months in the purse.
Might be a little melted from the heat, but they should still be good.
That's okay. Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you, yeah.
Yep. Dick Robertson is here too. Dick, do you have anything today?
I don't have anything. Good to see you all again.
Okay. Does the commissioners have anything else?
Is the bridge, I thought we would get the community to finally know about the bridge that's gonna be being closed. Is it Monday? The Waterloo Bridge, that project?
Bridge 90. Bill, do you have anything?
We've got a verbal commitment. It's a possibility it's gonna be closed Monday, but it's definitely gonna be by July 5th.
Okay,
We've been waiting for a written commitment. We're supposed to, this week, we're supposed to receive, their schedule, road schedule this week, but they verbally committed no later than, definitely by the 5th of July, possibly next Monday. They're trying to get the work they sent the crew to because of all the delay because of the power lines.
They're moving up today.
Yeah, but there is one thing, there's a fiber optics, which is about 4 feet from the bridge. But what I've authorized to do is if they don't get it moved before they start, which they may not, we're gonna pothole it. Find several places, that way they know where it is for sure. That way when they get in or drop the bridge, they won't cut that big fiber optic. That'll be a little additional cost, it'll be a change order, which is no big deal. We can't delay it another month or so waiting, for that. So what they'll do, if that's not out by Monday or the 5th of July, then they're gonna dig a few holes right along there, find it, make sure they know exactly where it is before they knock that thing out of there.
Okay. So, Bridge 90 will close possibly Monday of next week, but by July the 5th,
That's the verbal commitment we got. Like I said, we're waiting on a written and their schedule. And then we're discussing, because all these issues, their original finish date was October 18th. We're kind of in discussion, maybe move that to November 15th or so. We don't want to go much past that because of weather. So we're thinking of giving some additional days because with everything happening, what happened early on with Duke and everything. So that's not in stone yet, but we are discussing that factor.
yeah.
They don't think they can get done by October 18th with the delay that's going on.
Yeah. But this whole delay has been caused by Duke Energy's failure to move their utility
Yeah, they got
poles.
moved, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then the problem is the contractor had to move his bridge crew somewhere else. He didn't want them not working, so they're finishing up that job before they come back.
Okay.
And they just can't, sit around and do anything. They got other work to do, so they moved those guys there. So,
Yeah. One thing affects another, and another. Okay. Okay, you want to take Here's claims and payroll.
Move approve claims and payroll.
Get a motion by Dale, second by Tracy to approve claims and payroll. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Three ayes.
These old signs can be left up the bridge. Do we have the big signs there then? Yes, you should.
That's the client people. Here's James. Here's the client people's
Thank you.
contract.
And then this is the one for the assessor.
Okay. Don't let me forget it.
So we can remove the old one here. So they'll just have 4 signs, the 4 new ones. These here will have 4 new ones plus the 2 old ones. That's correct. Okay. So now we'll have to have them all the down signs, because he's ordered 2 for every one of those. I don't have that 4.
And if it's 3 miles away, you're gonna have an additional sign that says, bridge is 3 miles away.
That could be a little sign.
I don't think they, I don't know if it's any that far, 'cause I've got them all on map, I've got them all out.
Well, now,
Dave's got the double in his order.
if you do the bridge on 400, one end is a good long way. Remember, it's up there wide.
The little sign, if I make it.
I think so. I don't think that would call for one, but
I'm not sure, I've got my map on the bridges. So basically, he's gonna have to double the order.
we're south.
So there is, what he's 13. Is that the way it was, it said that sign? Well, it's actually 22, and then he's. So it's actually 22, okay, got it. I still don't order much. That's not on the. Also. So you should have some. I think I double did that. Because I got 2 for a 2 bridge, I didn't realize you had to have 2 bridges and the interconnection. No. So I'll just.
Pretty good about getting them, too. Well, they'll call and go without a gift.
Oh, yeah, he said he would do business, that's safe. John, you got that big 200?
Definitely have to take the trigger.
So, there might be that cost, that would get a cost down. Well, you have to pay, it'll be double.
Did he have some, like
by Dale, second by Tracy to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you all very much.